don't know, sorry, this is the worst ever. Chat is definitely dead. Is this thing on? Floodland missed this first. Nearly. Okay, here's a good question. O. Simon says, any tips on how to break out the standard chords with the 5/6 string as a root note? Triads, or something I use, I think even more often than triads, would be like 9 chords, O. Simon. So if you took like your G major triad, I'm not sure how much you can see right now. Here, down at the 5th fret. Instead of the 3rd, suspend it. So that could work if you're playing in G for your first chord, your 4 chord, your D chord. But it can also work for your 2 and 6. So let's just try that a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4, E minor. So hear how it sounds with other normal chords. I quite like these spread triads. Just normal triads, if you're kind of voicing them. So those would be some ideas that I'd maybe look at. So things that sound. So think less about maybe traditional chord shapes and think about, you know, maybe think about a triad or like a sus thing. Like that chord there for me, which I play in place of a D. Like 5th fret, 5th fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. It's not necessarily something that I have a name for, just something that I know works as a chord 5 or as a chord 1. So like, yeah, sus chords or 9s. And also I would look into inversions, O. Simon, because that can be quite a cool thing. Do I think about picking technique much? What do you mean by think about it? So my picking stuff is for legato stuff, kind of economy picking. That, and then I do quite a bit of like alternate picking when I'm thinking about alternate picking, but I'm not sure there's a terrible amount of thinking about that. show how you're linking different positions. Do you have any favorite exercises? What you think when you're moving around? So you basically choose your framework, I guess is starting point for this. So let's choose a key. Someone drop a key in chat and we'll go with that. Let me tune my guitar. So we got a shout from Thomas Garside from A flat minor. So I would think of that as G sharp minor. Oh, cheers, though, Simon. I really appreciate that. And then we got an F sharp from Flood 9. So let's use F sharp because this is one of those keys that might catch some people out. So we're gonna just play a progression. 1. Right, so choose your. Now, I don't think about things like pick slant. Those are things that kind of naturally happen for me, Florian. So if I when I was trying to just play naturally fast, kind of the things happen. Like if you do some of the John Petrucci type picking. There is no discord. Right, is this working? So first of all, what I would say is pick your framework. So by framework, I mean either major scale or pentatonic. So when you're thinking about joining these things up, those will be the two ways that I'd be thinking. So this is a very basic starting point. So, just very basically, the pentatonic box shapes, joining them up all over the neck. Do you know what I mean? Like, just try and... that sort of thing. And then the same kind of idea. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. And then same idea with major. I started off with major, but really the idea is doing this sort of thing so much and so that you're not having to think about those scale shapes so much, like practicing it, you know. So if you're playing over any sort of song, 3, 4. So just pick up a guitar. Hey 100 Flowers, hope you're well. And then when you're playing, just be conscious that you're not trying to leave no part of the neck unexplored. Speaking of, any good tips on learning the entire neck? This is it. This is what you need to be doing, I think. Just what are the areas that you don't know? Hey, no, I hope you're well. People talk about doing this as well. The note names are less important than knowing note, and Eric is making a good point there. Do I know what note name I'm playing? No, not really. It's not so much, it's more about relative stuff for me. This is, I made a video about this, like thinking more like a singer. So maybe thinking about the intervals. I'm thinking quite often about, like, you know, what is the sound of. So if I'm here, like I could sing quite a lot of what I'm playing. Sam asks, have you got any tips when it comes to practicing phrasing? Trying to sort of keep a real track of the beat. Eric asks, am I able to comfortably play in any key? Yeah, that was a thing that I practiced a lot as a kid. You know, just find songs that are in different keys. This is like a weird in-between key. It's a really good one. Hey, Britwell. Well, can you share which of your presets you're using right now? It's called Livestream. I did a video on it. Hey, if I was only allowed one guitar, which would it be? It would be the K line. What is my favourite chord? I think my favourite chord is like maybe this one. Although I was playing this. Let me see if I can see if anyone picks up what this tune is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll get back to the bit that I'm talking about. So that one's a really nice one. Sorry. It's like a what's the word? It's a Robin's got it. Lucas, sorry. It's a flat 7 sharp 11. It's helped the poor though. Ryan, shout with the masquerade. It actually works. Horrible. Sorry. Musicians that I'm inspired by most, Keith Jarrett I find really inspiring. I don't have any inside knowledge on anything. Yeah, what I would like, maybe something like the Helix, but without so many inputs and outputs. I think it'll be something totally different when something does come. has Dream Valve amp set up, 1 amp, 1 pedal, 1 guitar. This guitar, 1 pedal, maybe the J-Rocket Dude, if it's got to be something that's available. And I really like the deluxe reverb reissue, if it doesn't have to be, you know, a Dumble or something. Something I've had got experience of, the deluxe reverb I really like. So yeah. I bought all the K lines. Well, I've actually got less of them now. Even the effect when budget companies like Otone and Moore are already outperforming the Helix. And I don't think so. I had the Moore. I don't think they're actually outperforming. I did the video with the thingy. Like the capture wasn't as accurate as I'd have liked. Yeah, I don't know. There's something like Hotone generally I think is pretty good. There does seem to be like a level where they don't quite get to. Do I have a video on the Silver Tube coming up? Yes, Benjamin, I do. It's ready. I just haven't uploaded it yet. Yeah, you're right. Helix doesn't do captures, but I've had a bunch of capture devices. I just find that I don't really use it. There's probably a bunch of Locrian songs. I think, yeah. For about 10 minutes more if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask. Gofield and Joshua Della Victoria, yeah, he's awesome. Any tips on what or how to practice? Just things that inspire you. Help the poor, Lucas. Cyril, I have about 10 that I count. What was my breakthrough? I'm still waiting for it. Advice for a player plateau just around intermediate. I don't know. Just keep cracking on. I think yeah, just sticking with it, trying to find things that really inspire you to put hands on the instrument, I think is the only thing that's going to get you beyond that. Um, what are the things that you feel like you know? What are the things that you feel like you should know? Like, are there... So, for instance, like if I'm playing over that, so I can hack my way through it. I have not played an anthem properly, Benjamin. Trying to find roots through this tune. Wait, that didn't work. My hairdresser, they passed away. It was a barbicide. Right, don't be modest playing it. You're one of the reasons I grabbed guitar, but just keep picking it up. Thinking about getting Tonex and use that with my ME90. Any issues with that live? Like the bassist has just started using an ME90 in the band. Yeah, playing with other people if you've got consent is good. Play with other people. Just picking up the guitar when you get a moment. I think the plateau is just, I think, a case of slightly short-term thinking. And I think we can all have days where we feel like we're not where we want to be. But I just try to turn it around into thinking, like, am I enjoying this today? And sometimes just trying to get a win wherever you can. I think it's just trying to enjoy the guitar and what you're playing on it, if you can. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make much sense, does it? Have I still got GX100? Yeah, there's one upstairs. Disappointing series of events. I'm being sued right now. But I still watch your videos and love you play. Why are you being sued? Days with the D, drop these. I'm sorry to hear that you're being sued, Stephen. Hopefully there's a way out of that. Surprisingly, I've got better by taking music theory lessons with that. So here, people ask me about the music theory stuff. Yeah, buy some more gear. And the thing that I feel like, because people ask me about, like, where would you start? I wouldn't start with a guitar. Like you're saying, like, there's a book called the ABRSM Guide to Music Theory in the UK, which is basically where, because I had piano lessons, where I got my theory knowledge from, and I think it's a good starting point. And there's enough in there to get you to a level where you've probably got more knowledge than, a lot of people that you might end up playing with. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a good idea to start thinking about like more exotic stuff without getting some of those basics down. So yeah, if you're thinking I feel a bit stuck or whatever, I'm not that sure, like, do you understand why things are the way they are? Maybe music theory might be a starting point. And it's not, I don't think it's as complicated as people make it out to be. I wouldn't say that a YouTube video is the best place to get music theory lessons from in some ways. Long embarrassing story, stressful and disappointing. Well, sorry to hear that, bud. But yeah, we'll get there. Eric Haugen has some chill lessons to get you started on theory if you don't know where to begin. But yeah, I think there are YouTube videos and stuff, but I just think it's like based on hundreds of years of things that we got to where we're at. And sometimes I feel like a YouTube video maybe doesn't do as succinct a job that would be quite well covered by a book. Does that make sense? I don't know. Or certainly, like, couldn't hurt to try that as well. Do you know what I mean? I've read it again, or I did have a copy somewhere. I should maybe do a video on that. But what books do I recommend? Yeah, so ABRSM, which I think is where they talk quietly into your ear. Guide to Music Theory, and that was like enough that you would get to sort of grade 5 theory in the UK, which would be like university or A level. Yeah. I think that would be some solid advice. Why is the guitar not making noise anymore? Oh dear. Oh, I'm still on the lead. Stitch up. I hope that's like okay advice. I'm not saying, don't watch a Beato video or whatever, but I think in terms of digesting stuff, sometimes a book might not be a bad idea. The other thing is, I don't think that the fretboard is that conducive to like a good understanding of music theory in some ways. But like learning why or how we arrive at the major scale. Having a really good understanding of what the major scale is, I think if you're feeling sort of intermediate, is probably a really good place to start. Especially if you're thinking like, I quite like the sound of some jazzy stuff, or, it sounds to me like these players are doing something outside of the normal. Oftentimes people are just using the major scale quite well in the majority of music, generally. It'll get you a job. Whereas, playing altered stuff will lose you a job often. Noticing where weaknesses are, I think, is maybe a thing. Maybe a couple of lessons with someone that you dig. Cheers, Floodland. For me, I've sort of recognised that bending sausages are upstairs. Is something I've neglected. Vibrato at the top of the bend. It's from the wrist. Hey, how you doing? what I would say is like the golden tip for vibrato. I think this is a vibrato. It's like, think of it as like sort of turning a doorknob. I think I've heard someone say. What's in the chord progression? So this is E minor, A altered, D minor, to G dominant, to B flat 7 sharp 11 to A altered, and it's helped the chord, by the way. I think it'd be the same as a Fender Strat. That was messy at the end. Cheers, Ovi. Hope you're good. If anyone's got ideas for vids and stuff, feel free to email me. Yeah, obviously not how to play over this progression. I guess that's also the thing about practice and you know, that feeling of not exactly knowing what you're doing. I guess if a practice session sometimes sounds pretty dodgy, I'm not going just yet. Give me 5 minutes, but if you're going, see ya. Yeah, if you're feeling dodgy, that's probably not a bad sign, but maybe just focus on practicing one thing at a time, if that makes sense. Like, you're feeling like, today my timing feels a bit dodgy, or today, I don't know, I just feel like I'm just floating over the top of everything and maybe not landing on anything significant. Maybe just think about, like, if there's one thing I want to do, I want to execute that one thing. Does that make sense? Like, just narrow in your practice a bit more. So now I'm thinking, right, I'm going to just try and play some motus. So I just want to play something that sounds sweet for everything. Play some sort of more weird chromatic stuff this time. By chromatic cells. That sort of thing. Hey Mike. Maybe if I could practice some octaves now. Practiced octaves for years. Daniel, I definitely started off with a load of internet. It's been bad. Well, I think I need to go and now finish Yellowstone with the wife. Thank you everyone for stopping in and watching me fail to do a live stream. It's if at first you don't succeed, just keep trying and annoy people, I guess. Child asked, do you ever get bored of your own playing? Absolutely, and I'm sure you get bored of my playing too. It's just one of those things. No one hears more of your playing than you do. But sometimes some other people like what you're playing, which is like the surprising part about things, right? But yeah, absolutely. There's some days where I'm like, I wish I didn't sound like me all the time, but it kind of... But yeah, just when you're feeling that that feeling of being in a rut and like not loving what you're playing, try and find something that reconnects you to the thing that you like to play and why you end up playing. Some days it's not going to work as well. And for better or worse, probably no one else plays guitar quite the same as you do, right? I guess one other thing to remember is that a lot of what you see of other people playing is sort of their real highlights, like the best of the best. I was watching just is it Brent Mason playing the other day, just really sort of like humble footage of him in the studio, just take after take after take, and it wasn't necessarily remarkable in the moment, like obviously like really solid playing or whatever, but it wasn't. It was like seeing how great solo comes together in the studio from someone like even Brent Mason. Like it's taking work of putting, you know, bits together. Like not everyone's perfect all the time. Do you know what I mean? Which is important to remember. Like even the great solos that we've heard on records and stuff, I have a feeling that more of them than not are not first take. Do you know what I mean? Certainly Instagram footage is generally not going to be a first take. Yeah, because there's been some people calling out people on Instagram for like, you know, miming to videos and doing, you know, Instagram stuff. But it's also like, well, yeah, music videos tend to be mimed, you know. Right, someone give me one last question. Will give us a good send-off. Dildo says, beginner guitarist managed to get a decent tone finally, but hearing your tone realised I've got a ways to go to dial in that tone of yours. Just grab a Helix preset. The rumours are that I still am. Summerfields. Gateway Bros. It's Morrison's. Summerfield. Watch any gigs in the year. I saw Corey Wong in London. What did I see? I saw Jacob Collier this year. I saw Charlie Allen playing with Incognito. That was cool. We were going to try and see Post Malone, but the tickets were kind of bonkers. And then... Oh, I'm thinking of going to the guitar show on Sunday, if all things are well with the sausages. That's a possibility. I might see one or two of you chaps there, if you're around. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks to everyone who's done the old coffee stuff. I appreciate that. And sorry the stream has been calamitous. I think we got there in the end. I'll catch you in a video tomorrow, obviously. Cheers for stopping by. And I hope you're well. And... lots to think about there. Cheers.